Hello, welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast where we try to figure out why everybody in Port Charles is so miserable this week. It's Tara. I'm going to be honest once more. It is kind of another chaos podcast. I'm not going to name it the chaos, but it's funny when I name it another chaos podcast, people like I'm going to listen to this one. So maybe it's kind of a chaos podcast. I've only watched Monday because my students had a paper due. I've been talking to them all week, and so I've watched the show in clips, but I haven't seen like the whole. Like I've seen the good stuff, but I haven't seen like the stuff. And then I did this format like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. I did it before earlier, and some of y'all really liked it, even though it was long. And then last week was long too, so it didn't fucking matter. But I have a feeling maybe this week won't be at that long. Like I said, I've only watched Monday, but like Monday, nothing happened. It was just, it was all filler. It was just dialogue. It was like, let me remind you of some stuff. Let me tell you some stuff's happening. One of them, like 15 minutes of it was just flashbacks. It was just flashbacks. I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. Are we really just gonna show 15 minutes of flashbacks of Jason and Britt's 6 month situationship before the cave took him and he like after he married Carly? Okay. But yeah, like let's just okay, so Monday's episode, we're starting with Monday. Yeah, Jason is in fake France with a bunch of terrible French accents just surrounding us. And like I lived in France for a minute, so like I extra noticed it. I just extra noticed it. I was like, yikes. But he he sees what looks like Brit's ass because he literally only sees someone from behind. He's like, he sees the ass and he's like, I know that ass. It's very funny. But he tries to like strong arm his way onto this plane to Dubrovnik or whatever, where I'm gonna be really honest, I don't know where that is. I can Google it. Let me see. Where is Dubrovnik? Um, but he goes he tries to get onto this plane. Oh, it's in Croatia. He's trying to go to Croatia. She's going to Croatia. Everyone knows all the shady shit in the world happens in the Balkans. And so she's going to Dubrovnik, I guess, in Croatia. He tries to strong arm his way. He's like, I need to talk to a woman on this plane. They're like, bro, no. You don't have a ticket. You can't get on the plane. He's like, I'll pay for a ticket. Here's my passport. A dude comes out, just closes the door. It's like, yeah, shit's done. Like that plane's leaving. And then we like stay with Jason on the plane while he just has like 15 minutes worth of flashbacks of 6 months of this show. Like you would think that Jason and Britt are any of like Jason's memorable couples. Like you would think that this is like comparable to J Sam the way they were doing it. But I mean, I don't care. I'm not offended by Jabrit. So if you're excited for Jabrit, like I'm excited that you're excited. I don't care. I'm neutral. I just thought it was so funny. Like we got the whole thing and then like, even when the cave took him and everything, it was very weird. It was very weird. But that's Jason. 3 minutes. I'm not even 4 minutes in. We're done with that. Finished. Next thing that happened, super quick, the deception thing happened. It was very weird. Lucy ain't shit. Lucy truly ain't shit. She is trash for bringing Lois on without Brooklyn's knowledge. And Lois is trash for going, talking about Brooklyn would only agree to it. Why would Brooklyn agree to it at all? Like, you've met her. What are you talking about? But essentially, we're doing like Hope Shopping Network shenanigans once more, where we pretend that it's not 2025 and people aren't buying shit on Instagram. Like they should honestly be on Instagram selling stuff, but whatever. I don't know why they're not in a TikTok shop trying to sell some stuff, get an Etsy store, or just like advertise like a normal company. But they're like, let me go on the one home shopping network that still runs in the United States. Okay, like I don't have cable. I just have streaming services now because what's the point? So I would never buy Deception. But sure, we're gonna go. So like Brooklyn is like, I'm gonna be the spokesperson with Lucy, but we know Lucy can't be by herself because she's unchained, and she's gonna start talking about the one time in 1995 that she hosted the nurses ball and it was great. And so, the Flora chick, because I guess like Morgan Fairchild's had enough. She said, I've had enough. I'm over it. So Flora is back, the chick from One Life to Live, and she's like, we're gonna keep her on track. And then they start to do it, like they're on television, and Brooklyn's like, yeah, I'm here. And Lucy's like, oh, I know some of you are so disappointed that Lois isn't here. Nobody's disappointed. Nobody gives a shit. Just sell the stuff. What do you mean? But Lucy's like, oh my God, I know you're so disappointed. Brooklyn's like, no one's disappointed. Everybody's fine. We're here to sell this stuff. Lucy's like, nope, they're disappointed. And that's why I brought Lois. And she just brings Lois out. And like I said, Lois is a clown for going. Like, Lucy's a clown, but Lois is also a clown. And so now Brooklyn's just there. And she's like, do I crash out on national television or do I, try to be professional? So she tries to be professional. Lucy's like, Flora, the host of this show, why don't we leave? Why would the host leave? What are you talking about? This is her show. Why are you taking her away? But she's like leaves with Lucy, and it's just Brooklyn and Lois, and they look cute together, and I guess they sell a bunch of stuff. But when the show's over, Brooklyn's like, don't ever do that shit again, Lucy. Lucy tries to really get an attitude with her, like, deception's business is my business, and I'm trying to save your relationship. Da 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 da. Brooklyn's like, bitch, I'm gonna be real with you. Do that shit again and see just how much I'm like my grandmother. See what happens. And Lois is like, I would have never come if I knew you didn't want to come. Lois, be so fucking serious. Be so fucking for real. And so Brooklyn's like, I can fix this. I can make it so I never have to deal with this again. You are fired. And she fires her mama. And that's that story. Not even 7 minutes in. Done. Finished. Boom. And so the main story, which is more just talking on Monday, is really Spy Hospital. So I was suffering because I cannot stand Spy Hospital. But I will say I like hearing anything about Anna Duvaine's time in off-screen Spy Hospital, so that was fun. But we get Spy Hospital, and they're clearly just setting up Pikeman to be a bad guy. Like, I'm waiting for him to turn fully evil, for everyone to turn on him, and for Anna to have his job. And then she becomes Joss's mentor or something. Because I think we're just in it for the long haul. Though, just because they had Dante be like, wouldn't you want someone to get her out? I feel like Anna's gonna see just how good she is at it, and she's gonna be like, nah, she's gotta stay. She's meant to do this. It's stupid. Just be like I said, anytime it seems like the show is starting to give me what I want, I immediately know that they're not giving that. They're not doing that. It's a MacGuffin. You're just trying to set it up so I can lure me into a false insecurity, so you could be like, no, she's a spy forever, and one day she's gonna be fucking police chief. Oh my God, I'm so upset. But like I said, Pikeman's the bad guy. You have like him renting out the entire Metrocorp pool for Carly, like rolls up on her in like civilian clothes. So shit, that should have been our first clue. But she's like, "Oh my God, how are you?" He's like, "We should go for a swim." She's like, "Oh my God, I can't because it's a party coming." He's like, "Where's the party? Everyone, no one's here." And she's like, "I'm sure they'll be here in a second." He's like, "What if the party's for two?" Sir, you are so corny. You are so corny. This is corny. I don't like it. But they hang out by the pool, and she talks about her Sasha trauma, about like Sasha taking that baby and leaving, and how it's so, so weird. And when Sasha was about to leave, I almost called you. And he's like, why didn't you call me? And she's like, because I don't want you to think that I'm just using you. And I don't want my business and spy business to go into like run into each other. So Mob Hospital and Spy Hospital will definitely be colliding at some point. They just let us know that we will be ramming Mob Hospital into Spy Hospital when the mob war that is currently the West Side story that's happening with white East African warlord and Sonny and Latino son and Lucas. Once that's concluded, then we will shift into Spy Hospital versus Mob Hospital with Anna Duvane and Dante Falconeri and Carly Corinthos, or Carly Spencer, my bad, Carly Spencer, trapped in the middle. Let's go. All right, but he's like, girl, I want you to call me. Like, I might not be able to help, but I can listen. And he gets spy phone calls, and they're like, oh my God, like, I'm helping you with your problems, and you're helping me with my problems. Like, that sounds like forever. So this is about to crash and burn. This is about to be a mess. Like these two not gonna make it. Like don't get used to this. Don't get used to this. The Pikeman and Carly, no. I do not see that. I don't see a future for that. But at the same time that they're talking about forever, Anna and Dante are like, what do you call it? So Jocelyn's a spy. Dante don't really want to believe it. Dante's like that Dollar Tree Dex is getting Jocelyn into nonsense, and I can't believe he would do that to her. Like she is so innocent. Anna's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro, because she's clearly a spy. That was 100% a spy move. Like she's spying up all over the shop. What you talking about? Dante is like, my baby sister is not a spy. How dare you? And I would just like to point out that last week I said that the Carson children consider themselves all siblings, regardless of who they are attached to in the Carson relationship. That, like, even though Dante is not related to Carly and doesn't really like her, he does consider Jocelyn his sister because of Sorazine, because they like time does not matter. Carson was married for a significant amount of time while Jocelyn was a kid. And so like Dante would view, and like same with Jocelyn and Christina, Jocelyn and Sonny's kids, like those are her siblings. It's not just Michael. It's not just because it's like she does it with Avery, right? She considers Avery her baby sister. She's fought people over that. And so I just wanted to point that out that Dante was like, that's my sister, and I don't want her to be a spy. Anna's like, you can't really stop that. Like, she already went to Easter Island. The shit is done. And you know what? I was a lot younger than, she was when I became a spy. And it's kind of like you even capping this hard, like, I don't think she's a spy, lets me know even more that she's a spy and that the cover is working. And so Dante's finally like, yeah, she might be a spy, you right. What we do about that? I'm about to knock her out. And it's like, you can't do that. We get some cool like background off screen information about Anna, like what she was doing off screen, because she was like, I was a dancer, which is like a great spy cover, which it is, because like, yeah, I'm here to dance. Like whatever country on earth you go to, you like, I'm here to dance, and that makes sense to somebody. But she talks about how she was younger and she thought it was like she felt like she was part of something bigger. Pretty much like talking about how Brennan is snowing the shit out of Jocelyn and Carly, and essentially setting up this idea that like, well, Anna is very much like, I don't know, but like, is he dating Carly because he wanted Joss, or is that just lucky, or what's going on? But essentially, that when Carly finds out that her daughter is a spy, she's going to flip. She's gonna flip out, and Dante's like, well, should someone tell her? Like, should we do something about that? Anna's like, nah, actually, we can't, because now she sounds like Felicia from last week. She's like, well, if Jocelyn is a spy and she's spying, then that means the WSB is doing stuff, and we gonna mess up the mission if we do it. This is exactly what Felicia said last week about why Anna can't be digging into shit if she think that the WSB is doing stuff. And now she's like, well, now that I have confirmation, now we can't be digging into shit because the WSB is doing stuff. Okay, sure. Anna just, now that she knows more, she's down. Um, and so she essentially kicks Dante out of Spy Hospital, even though he said that he wasn't going to be the one to tell Carly. He was like, I absolutely will not be the one to tell Carly. That sounds crazy. I don't want to do that. And so it's very funny to me that she's like, still, you're too close to it. That's your sister. Like you said, you were very emphatic about that is your sister, not your stepsister, not your ex-stepsister, not Carly's daughter. You said that's your sister, which means you're too close. I was really down for you to do shenanigans, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to exit you from Spy Hospital. Please go back to Mob Hospital where you belong. And so Dante's gonna go back to Mob Hospital. He's out of the spy shenanigans. Finally we get Jocelyn and Dollar Tree Dex. And Jocelyn is literally just like, is it not weird that my boss dates my mom? Is there not an HR department that I could call? And Dollar Tree Dex is like, don't cross Pikeman or else. Like, that man can destroy you. And so they were kind of setting up like Pikeman is not all that he seems. And so that's Monday. That's literally all that happened on Monday. There's no point in me dragging it out. And so I'm going to be right back. Let me go watch Tuesday, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you about Tuesday. All right, bye. Okay, I'm back. So Tuesday, Tuesday was like an interesting. There's a lot of dialogue happening this week. There's just like a lot of, but I felt like I said that was gonna happen last week. That this was gonna be like a setup week, but this is like extra setup. It's just there's so much, there's literally a straggler setup for a future storyline in it. We did learn some important information on Tuesday. We learned that only one day has passed since Latino's son was kidnapped. Because I was like, where is Latino's son? Like, he was kidnapped on Tuesday, and we didn't hear about him again for a whole week. For a whole week. That is crazy. That's crazy. But whatever. This is. We'll get to Latino Son. We'll get to him. He's still not in the episode. We still didn't see him. Like, he's just talked about in the episode. But we're not even going to start with that. So, stragglers in the episode, we learned that Martin is being paid to go to Drew and Willow's wedding, which is so funny because I made like a post on Twitter where I was like, it was like a picture, like a still picture of the wedding and Martin, I put paid guest because I was like, it's Martin. He has to be being paid. And no shit, he's being paid. I am dead. I am dead. I did that on Monday. I did not know that he was being paid when I made that. That is hilarious. I called that shit. But the straggler part is that like Martin finds some letter. He finds some letter because apparently Michael and Willow's kids are not house trained. Like, why are they just pulling mail? They're just pulling Monica's mail and just coloring on it. Like they're wayward children who don't have access to arts and crafts. What the hell? And it's been in Drew and Willow's house, just under the couch, since those kids were last in the house. Those kids haven't been in the house since the nurses' ball. And so there's just been like a random letter stuck under a chair that like Martin could notice, but like Willow and Drew haven't noticed. Like the person who cleans their house was just like, obviously this colored on letter has become just a feature of the living room. It's just a part of this house now. I can't remove it. What the fuck kind of setup is this? That Martin just found this letter that looks like it has a demon drawn on the back. Like it's very weird. Um, but Martin, he finds this letter and it's to Monica and like it's someone who knows Monica. And is it tied into like I'll tell you what I think it's tied into in a second cuz like let's just go. So Tuesday once again not a lot of things happening. So we got like the aftermath of what happened at Deception. And first, let's talk about Lois. So Lois is so annoying. She is so annoying. And the writers are annoying because why are you doing this? Like, why don't have characters go this hard if you're going to turn around and be like, actually, they didn't do anything wrong. Everybody should just like chill the fuck out. Stop it. Just have them do less harsh things or let them face the consequences. Don't send them out of town. Let them be tarred and feathered throughout town like they should be and get their comeuppance instead of this. So, like, it's the aftermath of like Lucy doing what she did. Lucy's not even in the episode. Lucy's not even here. Lucy's gone. And so it's Lois and the Home and Heart lady who's not Morgan Fairchild, the non Morgan Fairchild Home and Heart lady who's from the South. And Lois is like, oh my God, I'm so, so sad that me and my daughter don't talk. The Home and Heart lady's like, here, have some booze. Let's talk about it. And Lois just proceeds to tell this lady, like, all of Brooklyn's business. Again, more people knowing Brooklyn's business. Girl, who aren't you telling? You tell everybody her business except her. That's crazy. Like, that's actually wild. But she's like, oh my God, like, I kept my daughter's baby from her and tell her who he was and that he was essentially living in the same fucking house with her. She's like, ooh, that's wild. But, you're a mother and you had to do stuff. And she's like, yeah, but it wasn't even my idea. It was my mom's idea. And then all of a sudden, the Home and Heart lady was like, listen, you were young and you didn't know any better. What are we talking about? Lois was at least 40 when that happened. She wasn't a teenager. What do you mean? At what age do you get to take responsibility for your fucking actions? And then Lois is trying to like give her mom cover. Like, I don't know, like maybe she just had ideas from an older generation. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, why are we trying to use this home and heart lady to give Lois cover? Like, no, just have her come back. Just have her come back, have her live someplace else. She doesn't have to live at the Quartermains. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like they're trying to find a way to have, like, the people in the Q Mansion forgive her so she could come live in the Q Mansion. She doesn't have to live in the fucking Q Mansion. If she wants to be in Port Charles and try and make a conscious effort to get back in these people's good graces, then she actually can't live there because there's no way that you're going to, like, win over every single person that lives in the Q mansion. You're gonna get vetoed by at least one of them. Because who lives there? Like, let's run it down. So it's Brooklyn, it's Chase, who's just like letting Brooklyn have his vote in the family. Like, whatever she's voting for, that's what I'm voting for. We got Ned and Olivia. Definitely not convincing them yet. We got Tracy, Dante. Like, let's be so fucking serious. Like, if you want Lois to come back to town, just have her come back to town. But we don't have to pretend like what she did wasn't fucked up. Because it was. And being like, oh my god, she was just so young. Like, she just didn't know any better. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. And also, she was like explaining it like, oh, you know, my cousin Camilla was just so sad that her husband died in the war. And so we had her adopt the baby. She didn't adopt this baby. You guys falsified a bunch of records. She stole that baby. That's what happened. She stole the baby. So, like, be so fucking serious. Does Gio even have a social security number? Like, what's going on? How has he been walking through life with like a fake fucking life? It's so weird. It's so stupid. And so, like, essentially, Lois is like, I'm just gonna go back to Bensonhurst until my daughter loves me again. Okay, great. Bye. Brooklyn is over at the Metro Court telling Tracy what happened. Now she's like panicking because, you know, Gio works there and she's like, Bro, we can't be here. Like, what the hell? And Tracy's like, it's fine. I learned that young man's schedule and he's not here today. We're good. And so she starts telling her grandmother about what happened at Home and Heart and how Lucy just threw Lois at her, like, and without her knowledge. Tracy is like, I will go slap the shit out of Lucy right now. Bet. Brooklyn is like, thank you so much. I do not need that. I would like you to not do that. Um the whole situation, it made me very upset, but it also made me realize how much I miss my mom. Tracy starts to get very nervous. She's like, oh, no, 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 no. Please do not tell me you're going soft. You're getting soft on me. Now, all of a sudden, you love your mom again, even though she betrayed you. Brooklyn is like, no, no, that's not what's happening. I'm just saying that, like, it reminded me of the good times, but then I fired her ass. Tracy's like, bet. Love that. Love that shit. Brooklyn's like, thank you. Don't celebrate too hard because I'm still upset, but thank you. At this point, Martin shows up because remember, this is the story it's attached to. So Martin is like, hey, white East African warlord is backing out of attacking Sonny in the press. You need to pay for that shit now. Tracy's like, why should I pay for it? Drew got money. What's the problem? Doesn't he have Jason's mob money? What's going on? Martin's like, well, Drew can't use that money because he's a congressman. So he obviously cannot use his own money to fund campaigns, like smear campaigns against mobsters. Tracy is like, okay, well, still, why should I? Because, you know, she likes to fight with Martin. Brooklyn is like, well, I'm glad that that can't happen because Sonny is a good man. He is a good man, Savannah. And Tracy's like, bet, I got it. I'm going to pay for it. Let him know. Now you can bounce. Martin's like, you need to be nicer. Like, why aren't you nicer to me? Like, you're such a mean person. Like, what happens if you lost all your money? Like, what would happen to you? You would starve to death. Tracy essentially pulls a Kanye West at the Grammys and tells him, like, well, I guess we'll never know. And that had me so nervous because are they about to make Tracy poor? Are they about to make Tracy poor somehow? Because, like, the letter and Martin getting the letter and it being addressed to Monica, that, like, there are rumors, and I don't usually like to talk about rumors because until you tell me something, I'm not trying to talk about it until I know that that's what's happening. Why am I going to talk about it? Let's talk about speculation. But like, there is a rumor that Erica Slezak is not coming back as Vicky Lord, but as a new character who may be attached to Monica, like maybe her sister, maybe something else. But I guess if like Monica was to pass away without like a set will in place, the sister could come in and steal the mansion because it's not the Quartermain family mansion. It is the little lore about the Q mansion. The Quartermain mansion was Alan's wedding gift to Monica. And so it is literally Monica's house. It is not the family home of the Quartermains that Tracy and Alan grew up in. This is a home that Alan bought for Monica. And like periodically over time, more and more random Quartermains started showing up, particularly the bastards of her husband and her father in law, but also Tracy and Ned and all these people. But like this is Monica's house. And so potentially if Monica was to pass away, knock on wood, cuz I know that Leslie Charleston is no longer with us, but I like upstairs Monica. She's so powerful, right? She's just the most powerful she's ever been on the show, upstairs off screen. And so I'm down to keep her upstairs off screen and powerful, like the great and powerful Oz. Before we pull the curtain back and we're like, no, she's dead. I'm down to keep it that way. But potentially, what could happen, and this is where I do speculation, even though I don't like it, what could happen is like Martin could find out there's his long lost family member, sister, whatever, who could take the Quartermain mansion. Now, how does that affect EOQ? Because that's where the money is from. Like the money is in EOQ, not in the house. Like this crusty woman can have this house. Like you can take this house. What the fuck? But like the money is in EOQ, and that is owned by the Quartermain heirs. And so I don't know how you would make that work. I don't know how you can make it work. But this crusty show can make anything work. They had Sonny kill Jagger and we never talked about it again. We're like, who's that man? I don't know who he is. Like, he deserved to die. He had to die. Sonny had to kill him in a thunderstorm. It's fine. And so, moving on, that was the Deception aftermath. Because pretty much all that happens after Martin leaves is like Brooklyn is like, why you gotta be going after Sonny? I don't like that. Tracy's like, I'm gonna go after Sonny, deal with it. Like he dangerous. And it's the same fight that everybody has in this town when they're a part of a family, that like some people like Sonny, some people hate him. And so, you know, that's deception. It's kind of Lulu's hospital, but she's not in it. So it's deception. It's not its own hospital. It's just, it's Quartermain Hospital, I guess. I don't know, Deception Hospital. Deception doesn't deserve to be its own hospital. Like, it's not important like Black Hospital. I'm sorry, it's not. I want it to be. I think every character that works at Deception is important, but Deception as an entity is not important. And like the Quartermains as a family are important, but they should be anchored into other stories. Like Black Hospital, like what the Black characters are doing is important. Mob Hospital, what the mob is doing is important. Spy Hospital, what the spies are doing is important. I don't know if like the Quartermain's the business family that's just rich, like because business doesn't matter in this town. This is not Genoa City. That's all I'm saying. But moving on, let's go to an actual hospital-esque storyline. Black Hospital. Love Portia. I am so glad I'm team Portia. I have yet to regret my choice because I was waiting to regret it, to be like, no, Portia, why? But Portia just keeps impressing me. She keeps impressing me. She keeps making me proud. I am proud to stand behind Portia Robinson because Portia Robinson decides to tell attractive biracial doctor that she's quitting GH. Why would she do that? Why would she do that unless she was gonna bang him soon? Bang him, queen. Bang him. Cheat on Curtis. We're done with Curtis because Curtis, I have watched clips this week. I haven't watched the full episodes. I've only watched Monday and Tuesday's full episodes, but I have watched clips. Curtis is so into Portia again, and she's over it. She's over it. She wants attractive biracial doctor. Let's go. But she tells him, I'm quitting. I have to quit. He's like, no, you're such a good boss. You're the best boss ever. I love you so much. She's like, thank you so much, but I have to quit. I have to stand on business. Like, staying would mean to break my ethics. And he's like, well, if you're gonna quit, you should go out with a bang. And she is like, bet. He leaves to go tell Elizabeth more about this money pit. Is something gonna happen with the money pit? Because he keeps talking about this money pit, and I'm like, what's about to happen at the money pit? But he's talking to Liz about the money pit. She had just been talked to because there is a new hospital I'm starting for Miss Willow, whatever her last name is now, because I don't know. It's Delusional Hospital, starring Willow. She is out here asking Liz to come to her wedding, even though she already invited Liz to the wedding. She's already invited her. She's just like double checking because she knows everyone in town hates her. Liz is like, no, I'll go to your crusty wedding. It's fine. I don't have anything better to do. All my sons are out of town. Willow is like, thank you so much. That makes me sad because I don't have any children because Michael ain't shit. Because he's not gonna let my kids come to my crusty wedding to his uncle that I left him for, that I cheated on him with. What an asshole. Liz is like, okay. Um, at that point, gets the call from Portia to go to her office, decides to invite Portia to the wedding. It's like, oh my god, we would be so happy if you and Curtis came to the wedding. Portia just throws it in the trash. She just like, Chuck. Like, Chuck, like, bitch, are you fucking serious? I slapped the shit out of you in this office. Willow was like, that's so rude. Why did you do that? Portia is like, obviously treating you with kid gloves is no longer working, so we're gonna stop doing that. Bitch, are you for real? Are you fucking serious? You know that me and Curtis don't want to go to your crusty ass fucking wedding. Why would you invite me? Your fiance is an asshole. He can go straight to hell. At this point, Willow's like, this is so inappropriate. Bitch, bitch, for real? And so Portia's like, nah, you gonna sit here and hear this. Your fiance ain't shit. He's blackmailing me to falsify records for Michael. And she's just standing there like with a face. And I don't even know what the face means. I don't even know what the face means. I know that she don't care. Because those are part of the clips I've seen. I've seen a lot of the Willow clips. So I don't want to like talk further because I'm gonna watch Wednesday's episode and this is where we get the resolution. So all we need to talk about is that Willow is there with her dumb doe eyes, looking like wah 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 wah, and that is Black Hospital crashes into Delusional Ass Hospital starring Willow, whatever the fuck her last name is, because I cannot imagine she's still going by Corinthos. Moving on, let's move on to a better story. Better than I like I said, Portia is my queen. So I like Black Hospital. Delusional Hospital goes straight to hell. But I hear it gets better because I've seen clips. We're gonna get there. Mob Hospital. So Mob Hospital is kind of the main story that's happening. Because you got white East African warlord. Sonny calls him from Laura's office. So he's doing mob shenanigans in Laura's office. It is so so funny. He calls white East African warlord and he's like, so what you about to do? What you about to do? White East African warlord is like, I will do what you want. Let me go do it. And so Sonny's like, bet. White East African warlord goes to tell Drew, Jordan, and Martin that he's backing off the campaign to attack Sonny and Laura, by the way. Martin is really sitting here at the meeting talking about the people who are his sister's op. And yes, Jordan's at that meeting, but at least she's like a double cross, right? Like she don't fuck with white East African warlord and she's working with Laura. But Martin is just there. He's just there working with his sister's op, living with her. Okay. Okay, Martin. Um, but white East African warlord is like, yeah, I gotta stop doing it. Martin is like, what we about to do then? Like, Drew is like that too. White East African warlord is like, Tracy says she down. She can pick up the money. She got the tab. That's why Martin went to go tell her, essentially. He leaves before like Whitey's African Warlord can say why he stopped. So he bounces to go like run up on Tracy. Um, Essentially, White African Warlord tells Drew and Jordan, Sonny took my son. Sonny took my son and said he not gonna give him back. He gonna kill him if I don't stop doing this. And so, like, neither of them seem that shocked, to be honest. They're just like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, you would think they were like, Jordan does, she is like, well, let's just call Anna. Let's call the police. And Anna will find Latino son, and then we gonna put Sonny in jail. Bing bang bosh, boom. Um, White East African Warlord's like, nah, we can't do that. It's time sensitive. Too late. Drew is like, this is why we gotta get rid of him. And White East African Warlord's like, hey, you will, but just not with me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm going full mobster. I thought I could be a fake, legitimate person who buys ads and, does things legitimate while I still do my mobbing business. Turns out, Sonny is in fact not the man to just steal on. And so I will need to be going full mobster on his ass. So I'm not going to be a helpful person to you anymore. But go to Tracy. He won the battle, he didn't win the war. And that's pretty much all we see. Like, we see a little after scene with Drew where, like I said, we learn that Martin is literally being paid because, like, Drew's like, come to my wedding. And Martin's like, no, why would I do that? Like, I don't go to weddings. I don't like weddings. Drew is like, well, you work for me. That's why you fucking going. And he's like, well, then you paying me. If I'm working, if I'm at work, I'm being paid. And so now he's a paid guest. So funny. It's so funny. Um, Sonny, on the other hand, he's at Laura's office trying to like white fang her. I could not remember what like human dog movie where the person had to like tell the little dog to get, but it's white fang because it's a wolf. And Sonny trying to white fang Laura, like, Laura, you gotta cut me loose. You gotta cut me loose because he is also going full mobster. He said White East African Warlord is a White East African Warlord. So obviously I cannot, like, I was acting like he was this dude to steal on, or like I can just let him set some things on fire and then everything will be fine. No, I need to go full mobster as well. So you might want to back off. Laura's like, I will never back off. You are my best friend ever. That is crazy. Sonny gets a phone call from the DA because Lucas went to the police. This is how we find out that it's only been 24 hours. Luke is like, Marco has been missing for more than 24 hours. Chase, he does say that Dante can't be in it. And so does he think that Dante's mobbing? Does Lucas think that Dante mobs? Because he ran up on Chase and was like, is Dante here? And Chase was like, no. And he was just like, good, because he can't be in it. And I'm like, I feel like Dante would have believed you harder than Chase was. Because Chase really wasn't trying to do that. Like, he was like, look, bruh, you're not giving me a lot to go off of. And I'm really trying to get home. So, maybe you just like wait for him to call you. The DA over here, she's like, nah, that sounds like a kidnapping. That sounds like kidnapping. I'm gonna call Sonny right now. Here's the problem: is that y'all didn't even do an investigation. Like Chase was right. Like this wasn't enough to say this man was kidnapped. You didn't. You were just all going on speculation, and then she just wants to put Sonny in jail. And so the this show relies way too much on them telling us what's happening. So like she gets to be right because we saw that Sonny did kidnap Latino son. But there's no way that she should know that. Like there's no way that she should know that. And so she calls Sonny. She's like, get your punk ass down to the PCPD because I'm gonna talk to you about this kidnapping. He's like, no, I'm busy. The fuck? And she's like, I know, you at the mayor's office. So obviously she's having him followed. Like, you want me to send cops to the mayor's office? Come drag your ass out there? You better bring your ass on. He comes down there, goes into the Jason Morgan Memorial Interrogation Room with her ass, and he's like, girl, what you doing? Why you keep doing this? Why you doing this again? Like, you ain't got no evidence? She's like, we all know that you kidnapped Latino's son, don't act coy. He's like, girl, you ain't got no evidence, though. Who cares what everybody fucking know? What can you prove? That's the real thing. Why you keep bringing me down here like this with no evidence? You like me? You like me? Why is Sonny about to fuck this woman? He knows it. He knows it. It's the plan. I don't even think he like her. He don't even like her. He's just like, look, I have to obviously kick it back old school. We're going full mobster. We're going full 2003. And so I'm gonna have to fuck this DA like old school times, like the old times before, except different times. I'm not married to anyone. I'm not committed to anyone. I'm not even committed to this bitch. I do what I want. And so essentially that's what happened on Tuesday. I did very much enjoy Mob Hospital. I enjoyed Mob Hospital. I enjoyed Portia going off on Willow. So I enjoyed Black Hospital destroying Delusional Hospital, even though I'm sure Willow's gonna be nothing but obstinate in the next episode. But let me go check it out. Let me go watch it. I'm gonna be back in a sec. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Wednesday got me nervous about how long this episode's about to be because Monday was like, this is stupid and it's full of dialogue. I mean, it's not stupid. It's like it's entertaining. It was necessary dialogue, but it was also like there's a lot of dialogue. But now Wednesday stuff's actually happening again, and so let's see how quickly I can get through this one. I'm very aware that we're already at 40 minutes, but it's Wednesday. We're almost done. We're in the middle of the week. So we have axe throwing with Oma Liesel. We're back at the axe throwing bar. A set they will not let go. They will not release us from it. But fine, whatever. She is there with James and Spinelli, and James is doing pretty well for a child, and Spinelli's like, that's so good. Lisa is like, I'm German as hell, and no, that is adequate at best. Like, here, let me show you how to do it better. And so she teaches him how to throw axes better. And then we do just see him getting little axe throwing lessons. Is this something people do? I don't have kids, so you let me know in the comments. Do people just like send their kids to learn how to throw axes? I'm not against it. I'm not against kids learning skills and stuff. And like, obviously, I think that society sort of like shelters kids too much. Like, oh my God, they're so precious. They can't learn things. Like, no, this is when they're supposed to be learning things. What are you talking about? And so I'm not against it. I'm just like, is that a thing? Like when you go to the axe bar with your alcohol and your axes, do you just have little kids there learning how to throw axes? Is that not weird? But okay, sure. James was there. You know, little grandson moment. Spinelli's there supervising, and he's a little weirded out. Like, oh, okay, this is weird. But Lisa immediately gets into like, bruh. So, Willow's crazy as hell. Why haven't y'all shut that shit down? Why haven't you gotten involved with that? Spinelli's like, we're all just trying to mind our business. No, you're all just not being written for this show because like Maxie and Spinelli are just forever middle of the road on every issue in town because like if they weren't middle of the road then you might actually have to write for them to explain that to us. They can't just be off screen capping for Mob Hospital or whatever. Like they have to be like, we love everybody in town. We want everyone to be happy. Okay, sure. Um but he's just like, yeah, we just been staying out of it to be honest. She's like, bet, I gotta go. Takes James to camp, and then goes to start stalking Rocco, which is kind of the theme of this week's episode or of this today Wednesday's episode is let's stalk Rocco, but he needs to be stalked. That's what we learned this episode. But before we go over to Rocco's hospital, let's finish with Spinelli. He immediately calls Lulu to narc, which I'm not actually that mad at. Well, I think when it was happening I was like, really? But you know what, if a former terrorist comes to talk to your friend's child, or may be in the vicinity to talk to your friend's child, you probably want to give that friend a heads up, like, hey, by the way, the terrorist that my adopted son calls grandma is back in town, and she might want to talk to your son. And so he does that. Lulu freaks out. And then Spinelli ends up going over to Drew's house because he's now the courier for off-screen Maxie. We learned a few weeks back that Kirsten Storms is going to be off for a while. I don't know if she's already off or we're going to see her, but every time I don't see her or she's somewhere, she's in New York, with NYC, because Port Charles is in the state of New York, so she's going to New York City. I just assume it's because she's going to be off screen for a while, but I'm not necessarily, she said that there's a storyline attached to that. I don't know. Maxie not there, Spinelli doing stuff for her. That was my long-winded way of saying that he's there to do stuff for her, for Drew and Willow's wedding. And he also tells Drew this like, we love everybody. We love Mob Hospital and Spy Hospital and PCPD Hospital and General Hospital, like Hospital. Like we love all iterations of the show General Hospital. You know, we even love Black Hospital. Like we love all the hospitals, because for us to have any other opinion besides love and, you know, good vibes would require us to be on the show more, and we can't do that for various reasons. So be happy. And then, you know, Spinelli ends up leaving. Cool. We're done with Spinelli. Let's go to Rocco's hospital. Lulu's hospital has quickly become Rocco's hospital. That's what I realized in Wednesday's episode. Rocco is his own universe now, and so many characters are concerned with Rocco. So Carly and Jason are at the pool talking about Britt, because Jason is really acting like Britt was the love of his life. Maybe she is now, because you know this is soap, so they could write that like, oh, I've never had a connection like I had. I mean, we've seen you have connections before, Jason, but sure, he's just really like, she's the one who got away because of that Jarly wedding. I am not a Jarly fan, but the weird comparison of being like, Britt was really the person that I wanted. I didn't want Carly at all. Like, it was not, I had to marry Carly for mob reasons. All of the emotions that you saw that we tried to evoke during the month and a half long Jarly wedding that we sat through, all of that was made up. None of that was real. Jason was actually in love with Britt this entire time. And like, you know, he makes this comparison like, what if you saw, you know, me in a airport and you just saw my ass, but you know my ass really well. And like, would you just get on the plane? Would you just think it was jet lag? Carly's like, why are you comparing you and me to Jabrit? Why are you comparing Jarly to Jabrit? The fuck? And you know what? I'm not even mad at that, because if he had done that with J Sam, I would have been like, sir, yes, I would actually have to get on the plane and assume it's jet lag because you did to me. Because how dare you compare your little 6 month situationship to J Sam? And so if Jarly fans are mad about that, I feel you. I feel you. That was disrespectful as hell. What are we doing here? You could have Jabrit without doing this. Like, you could do Jabrit without doing this. Carly is in a relationship with Pikeman. Sonny don't want Britt. And so there is no problem with putting Jason and Britt back together. You don't need to make these false comparisons between Jarly and Jabrit. Like, that is so funny. That is so funny. Y'all are clowning on that. But you know, Carly's like, okay, that's fucking weird. But Britt died, my guy. Like, she died. She saved Jocelyn, so I'm not gonna hate on her ass like Lulu and Dante do. But she dead. You know, people die. Jason's like, I die all the time, but here I am. Carly's like, yeah, but you. That's not a normal thing, my guy. That's not just something like we all get like 9 lives like we're cats. Like, you just keep not dying. You just keep disappearing. I'm not even gonna feel bad next time you disappear. Next time someone tell me you dead, I'm just gonna be like, he gonna come back. He gonna come back. So, you know, at that point, Lucas shows up to yell at her about Mob Hospital. We're gonna talk about Mob Hospital during Mob Hospital's time, but she's leaving. She's gone. Jason is still sitting there. He's just like, okay, I guess Mob Hospital is popping off. Before he can even react to the fact that Mob Hospital is moving, things are happening since he got back from Paris. When has Jason slept? When did Jason sleep? He literally kidnapped Latino's son, went and sat guard at the church while Sonny told White East African Warlord that he kidnapped Latino's son. Then he got on a plane to Paris, talked Sasha's ear off the entire time, then immediately left Robert's house, went back to De Gaulle, got on a plane, first saw Brit's ass, fought with TSA, got on his plane back to Port Charles, spent the entire flight reminiscing about Brit. We had to watch the flashbacks. Remember the 6 month situation shit flashbacks that we watched? and then Kent went to the Metro Court to talk to Carly about Brit some more. When has he slept? Like, but he gets distracted in his Brit, reminiscent era to remember that Mob Hospital's, shenanigans are afoot. Lucas comes, Carly leaves with him. Before he can even be like, well, let me go back to my job, here comes Liesel in a caftan. Like, and so he's like, the fuck? Um, what do you call it? Wait, before before Liesel shows up, Rocco came up to Jason. I messed up the timeline because I'm not looking at my notes. I just looked at them. Rocco comes up to Jason to be like, "Hey, how you doing? I just want you to know I called Liesel and she said that Britt wasn't that bad too." Jason looks like, "Oh shit. Oh shit, Lulu was right. I probably shouldn't have done that." That's when Liesel shows up. And then he's like, "Oh shit. Damn." She makes some comment like, Morgan, because she's all super. I love Liesel's accent. She's one of the few people on the show who's allowed to do an accent. I don't get mad at it. I don't get mad at it. It's a good accent. She's good at it. But she kind of run up on Jason like, "Ooh, look, aren't you supposed to be dead?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm not dead." And she's like, "Bet. All right, cool." Um, gets Rocco to like get her a chair. At the same time, Dante is running up on Lulu at the X bar because, like I said, Spinelli told Lulu that, Liesel's in town. Lulu freaks out, calls Dante. When he gets there, she's throwing axes. So he don't even know why she called. He's like, "Bitch, are you fucking serious? My daddy at the Bob Hospital is afoot. Shenanigans are happening. My daddy currently getting questioned at the PCPD. You told me that Rocco's in trouble. Come down here. I come here. You throw axes, girl. I'm not gonna put hands on you because I'm a man. But like spiritually, I'm slapping the shit out of you. Because what are you talking about?" She's like, "Listen, I'm just throwing axes because I'm nervous. Our son is in danger. Liesel's back." Dante's like, "Oh hell no. Oh hell no. We gotta go see him at work. Where is he?" She's like, "Well, I don't know, because I was stalking his ass earlier, because she was at the pool earlier and he was like, 'Mom, get out of here.' So she was like, 'I was stalking him earlier and he didn't like that.'" Dante's like, "Well, his ass better get used to it, actually, because I'm about to stop. I'm stalking him now. I'm his new stalker, because I'm gonna stalk his ass right to that job and tell his ass what's up." So they head over there. When they show up, Rocco is literally kikiing with Liesel. He not even working. Like, don't you have a job, son? Like, the other people need towels. Where is Kane from YNR to scream at children? I guess he learned his lesson from last week. He back to the lab or something. But I needed his ass here today to tell Rocco to get his ass back to work, because he was really just chilling on a chase with Liesel. Dante and Lulu are like, nah, get up, son. Get up, son. We're not doing this. Lulu tell Liesel to get up. She's like, "Get up. You're not staying here. This is my cousin's hotel. You bounce." Now Carly's sitting right over there, so obviously it was all right. Obviously it was all right. If Carly was gonna be like, "Don't talk to my customers like that," she would have done that. She really just let Lulu use her cousin powers and privilege to get her the fuck up out of there. Because when Carly had come back from Mob Hospital, because she had to go upstairs to deal with Mob Hospital for a second, when she came back, she peeped fucking Rocco with Liesel, because she had come back to be like, "Jason, I don't know what the fuck went down in Mob Hospital. My brother's mad as hell." She peeps Lisa. She's like, "What the hell's happening here? The fuck?" And so, Lulu was totally like within her right to just throw Lisa out that hotel. She was not. People weren't gonna be mad about it. Olivia nor Carly were gonna be mad about it. So I'm not mad at her. I'm actually mad at the story in general, because like, just because in the Lulu Brooklyn of it all, I'm team Brooklyn, in this situation, I just think that this is another example of how terrible this show is about female reproductive rights. Because I'm just not a hypocrite. I'm not going to say that because I don't like a character that their reproductive rights should not be respected. This, even the assumption That Brit should get some credit for Rocco being alive is fucking crazy. That's crazy. She stole this woman's embryo. She stole these people's embryo. She implanted it in herself. She is not a surrogate. This is not a surrogate situation where, okay, like we should honor the person who, like, went through the physical trauma of like carrying a child and giving birth to it. She stole from these people. She's a fucking criminal. She's a criminal, y'all. Like, she's not a nice person. This is not a situation. And having Rocco be like, I think she is nice. Like, you don't like them, but they're not. These are not misunderstood characters. These are not characters where you're like, well, I guess in a soap, but they have done terrible things. Lisa was a terrorist for years, working with Faison, got 2 kids by his ass. Like, Brit steals embryos to trick men into being with her. Like multiple men, by the way, not just men. Because she first tried to trick Patrick, that didn't work, had the baby, and then tried to use it to trick Nicholas. To be like, oh, we're gonna be a family together. And I'm not saying that she didn't catch feelings for Ben, for Rocco Ben. I'm saying that her feelings don't fucking matter. Actually, her feelings don't matter. Her role in this doesn't matter. None of that matters. She gets absolutely no credit for being the birth mother of Rocco Falconeri. That's fucking crazy. And the assumption, the implication that she should is offensive to Lulu. It's like saying that she's less of Rocco's mother because she didn't physically give birth to him. That's her child. He has her DNA. What are we talking about? Like, I just, for me, for Tara, for Poor Misery, for this podcast, I do not like the implication that if mothers give their children up for adoption, then they are lying to them or they don't love them or they're selfish. I don't like that implication. And I don't like the implication that if mothers do not physically give birth to their children, they're less of a mother. That they now need to share that title with some other woman. Because I don't even think you need to share it with your surrogate. Like, because I think the part of mother comes after you give birth, right? Like, we could talk about the person who gave birth to you, but I am your mother because I am the one who raises you. Like, I am the one who bears the responsibility of keeping you alive. And so that is just my feelings about this whole Brit situation because you have this whole, like, try to, like, redemptive, like, they want to redeem her again. Like, they understand that the first one didn't really take, that, like, banging Jason in a lighthouse isn't enough. And so now they're gonna like hammer it home using like two of the worst characters in General Hospital history to tell anybody that someone's a good person. Lisa Obrecht and Jason Morgan. Like, you have this kid going to a former fucking terrorist and a current fucking mobster to see if this woman who stole him as a fucking clump of cells is actually a good person. What are we doing? Be fucking for real. And so that's that. It essentially ends with Jason being like, I gotta talk to Obrecht since like she was the one who was there when Britt died. Okay. Let's go to Black Hospital versus Delusional Hospital really quick. So Willow's delusional as ever. Like I said, I saw these clips, so I knew that she wasn't gonna be phased by anything that Drew did, but like I'll still like recap it as if I didn't know. So Willow's crazy, and when she finds out what Drew wants Portia to do, she's just like, okay, and Michael used like hit the law and did exactly what I was going to do to him to me, and so he's actually the asshole, so he deserves this, and essentially just leaves. Portia's like, are you fucking serious? Like, we're doctors and nurses, like we took oaths to like not harm people, and you're fine with that? Willow's like, yeah, I'm fine with it, I gotta go back to work actually. Okay. This what I'll say. This is the most interesting Willow's been this entire story because there's something about her having agency in all of this that makes her a compelling character. Her being this like idiot, ignorant victim is not interesting. But her just being this like massive bitch who's like, I can't be a good nurse. Like she literally is like, I can't be a good nurse without my kids actually. So we're gonna have to frame Michael if you would like me to be an effective employee for you. Willow, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? But she literally just leaves. Like, yeah, we're doing that. I hope you get out. I hope you solve your trouble soon so you don't have to keep getting blackmailed by my future husband. Bye, bitch. Bounces. So, Portia calls Nina, which I think is hilarious. Like the theme of like the summer is calling a bitch's mom. Cause like Anna called, you know. Anna called Carly on Jocelyn. Lucy just had Lois run up on Brooklyn. And now, now this. Now Portia's like, let me call Nina. Nina is currently at Drew's house, yelling at him about how, essentially how she's accusing him of stealing Sasha and Michael's baby. Like, are you the one casually kidnapping that baby? Drew is like actually offended by this. He's like, how dare you? Listen, I know that I'm terrorizing Black Hospital right now, but I would never harm a child. I would never harm a baby. Portia is a completely different story. And so she's like, yeah, I don't believe you because you're a piece of shit. And she leaves to go see Portia. Portia is like, so your daughter is extra crazy. I just wanted you to know that because I told her that I'm being blackmailed. And she was like, I love that. Love that plan. Do more of that if it gets me my kids. And so your daughter is fucked. Just wanted you to know. And so that happened. Uh, Willow goes home because maybe she just went home after seeing Portia. Like maybe after your boss, after you find out your fiance is blackmailing your boss, you're like, well, I'm gonna take the rest of the day off. Honestly, like what the fuck are you about to do? Don't make me tell Drew. And so she leaves, goes home. Spinelli's still there because, like I said, Spinelli was there doing Maxie's off-screen bidding, and Drew realizes that Willow is the casual baby kidnapper. Like he just remembers what Nina said, and he's like, "Oh, it's her." And he looks slightly worried, but I don't think he's gonna mind. To be honest, I think he's fine with it. And we find out about a new off-screen hotel, like the Cosmopolitan, which is where they're gonna have their reception supposedly. And that's apparently how he figured it out because she was like, "It's not as nice as the Quartermain grounds." And he was like, huh? And then he thinks back to what Nina said, and now he knows that he's about to marry a casual kidnapper. But she's about to marry somebody who's like blackmailing all of Black Hospital at this point. Like he's 10 seconds from blackmailing attractive biracial doctor. He just needs to get something on him. But moving on, let's go to Mob Hospital. Mob Hospital, so Latino son is found. Lucas uses the key to find Latino son. He's like banging on the door first. He's like, Latino son, are you in there? Like, Latino son. I'm like, Lucas, you have a key. Use it. What are you doing? But he uses it. Latino son is like knocked out. Like, did they punch him? Because he doesn't really have like a punch. It doesn't seem like they hit him on the head in any way. So they like chloroform him. Like, what did they do? How did he knock out? But he's knocked out. Lucas finds him. It's like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm so glad you're okay. I was so worried, because, like I said, Lucas had narked to the police. At that point, not Jason, Sonny is still in the Jason Morgan Memorial Interrogation Room. White East African warlord shows up because the DA called him, and it's this very cute scene because those two people in real life are married. So like DA, who's gonna bang Sonny, is married to White East African warlord in real life. So it's fun. It's cute. But she's like asking, like, so Lucas said that Latino son is missing. Is he missing? White East African warlord is so funny because he's so slippery. He's just like, I have reasons to think that my son might be kidnapped by somebody, but I don't know. I can't say. Um, at the same time, Dante is like in with Sunny, like did you kidnap Latino's son? Sunny is like, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, son. Dante is like, bet. Um, this there's just so much happening all around the mob hospital storyline, and I'm so enamored with like the DA and Whitey's African Warlord getting to be in a scene together, to be honest. But yeah, Dante and Sonny are in together. The DA is like, hey, bring his ass out here. He brings Sonny out here, and then like the DA is like, you can leave now. Why did you need Dante to walk him out here just so you could dismiss him? Essentially, Dante leaves to go to Rocco's hospital, but he's like, the DA is like, are you gonna tell Whitey's African Warlord where his son is? Sonny's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Whitey's African Warlord's like, I would accuse Sonny, but I don't want anything bad to happen to my son. At that point, Latino son walks in. He's like, hi, I think there's some confusion about where I went. And he tells everybody that he got lost in the woods. He was like, I was so sad that my mom, hopeful Maria Santos, got. And so I decided to go take a walk in the woods, Robert Frost status. And I took the path less taken and I got lost. And then I fell down a ravine. And then by the time I got back to my car, the car had a flat tire and I was so overcome with grief and exhaustion, I just slept in my car. And then I fixed my tire and I came back, and here I am. The DA is like, that sounds like the most made up shit I've ever heard in my goddamn life. Are you willing to write that in the record and tell people that you had a Robert Frost moment and that's why you had everybody worried like this? He's like, yes, ma'am, I am. So he's essentially pulling a Dante Falconeri and telling everybody that he shot himself. Um, White East African Warlord is like, okay, I'm gonna go since obviously my son wasn't kidnapped. Let me bounce. Sonny's like, well, since Latino's son was just having a Robert Frost moment, I'm gonna go too. DA's like, nah, let's talk. She's like, I thought you were nice. I thought that after we killed homophobe Maria Santos together, that you were a decent person, but now I know that you ain't shit. Sonny's like, if I ain't shit, Latino's son will be dead. Why are you just admitting it? He just admitted that he did it. He was like, yeah, I did that shit, girl. What you about to do about it? Not a goddamn thing. And so, they're about to bang because she was like shaking at the end. She's definitely gonna be having sex with this man. Um, let's finish it up with Lucas. So Lucas, like I said, Carly and Jason were talking about Brit. Lucas come down to yell specifically at Carly. He's just glaring at Jason. He's not trying to step to Sonny and Jason, but he has no problem yelling at his sister. So he's like, "You owe me a favor." What does she owe you a favor for? What did you do? You've been asking her nothing but favors for a week and a half. But he's like, you owe me a favor. So she lets him into Latino son's room. He's like, Latino son, I found him in a room. He could have died. Da 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 da. Carly's like, well, I'm glad he didn't die. Cool. I don't know what you want me to do, man. Um, Lucas is like, I want you to be mad at Sonny and Jason because they're the ones who did it. Carly is like, look, I don't know why you acting brand new. You know, just like everybody else in this town know, that if we clicking up, I'm Team Sonny and Jason. I'm Team Corinthos. I've been Team Corinthos since 1999, and I'm gonna stay Team Corinthos. What you talking about? I got so many kids by this man. I have my own kids with him and the collection of kids that he's had over the years at this point. I got so many people. I'm so deep in my hospital, and now you want me to try? You want me to jump ship? Where am I supposed to go? Fucking spy hospital? I'm not going to spy hospital. What are you talking about? You for who? For Latino son? So you can keep casually dating Latino son? Nah, brother. Nah. And he's like, I can't believe it. I'm so mad. Like, well, don't ask me to defend Sonny and Jason. She's like, cool, I won't. I won't. Let me go back to my hospital. And so that's pretty much Wednesday. Um, all of a sudden, Mob Hospital has become less about Lucas versus Sonny and Jason and more about Lucas versus Carly. But I assume that Latino's son is about to be against Sonny and Jason because he seemed like he not down for this shit at all. He not. Oh yeah, they did. Cause like Latino's son came back to the room. He comes back to the room. He's all beat up. Lucas is like, let me check you over because Lucas is a doctor. And he's like, fine, but I'm going to take a shower first. Takes a shower. Lucas is like, you could have died. They could have killed you. I'm so upset. And then they bang. Couldn't have been that hurt, Lucas, if you blowing his back out immediately afterwards, or he blowing your back out. Not sure the dynamics of those two, but whomever is too much. It's too much like exercise if he's that hurt. It's too much going on. Like that's too strenuous of activities for him to be doing. If he's as hurt as you concerned he is, Lucas. That's all I'm saying for you to be blowing his back out. But that is Wednesday's episode. The week is kind of getting it's heating up. It's heating up. It used to be like everything happened on Monday and then the week just sort of dissolved from there. But now Monday is kind of like light and stuff's heating up. So I'm gonna come back to you. Let me go watch Thursday. I'll be back. I'll be back. Oh y'all. Oh y'all, I'm back. I'm back. Hold on. Let me take a drink. I had to take a drink because I was gagged. Thursday, I feel like the only reason y'all have listened this far is to get to these last two episodes. So I apologize that you had to wait an hour and 10 minutes to get to. But I had a lot to do this week. That is my excuse. Take it or leave it. But I am here. I am here and I am gagged. Am I as gagged as I could have been if we had dropped this a year ago? Probably not. But I am gagged for like where we ended up regardless. Okay, let's talk about it. Before we talk about me being gagged to hell, let's talk about Thursday. Okay, so well, I mean, obviously we're talking about Thursday. That's what we're here because I'm back. We're talking about Mob Hospital. That's how gagged I am. I can't even talk. And I'm talking about Mob Hospital first because it's the least important story that's happening right now. Who gives a shit about Mob Hospital? And that's coming from me, and y'all know how much I love Mob Hospital. But okay, fuck Mob Hospital. But let's talk about it. So Latino's son and Lucas are post coitus, and Lucas tries to be like, "Oh my god, that was so scary. That was so scary. I was so worried." Latino's son is really like, "I'm fine. I'm good. I'm more inconvenienced more than anything because Latino's son is mobbed up. I don't have proof of this yet, because I have not watched Friday's episode. I only saw the scenes that everybody saw. But Latino son mobbed up because he was really like, I baby girl, I'm not even worried about that. You my boo now. I'm worried about you and I'm worried about keeping you safe and making sure you feeling good. And so they're just making out in bed. Carson is at the pool. Cause Sonny shows up to the pool. Carly's like, we gotta talk about Lucas and Latino's son. Sonny is like, yes, we do, because your raggedy ass brother went to the cops. Carly's like, the fuck? What? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, sir. At that point, Michael and Wiley shows up. Wiley's like, "Oh my god, are you guys here to see me swim?" They're like, "Of course we are. Why else will we be here? We are definitely not talking about kidnapping people. Like, we're not talking about mob shenanigans. We're here to see our grandson swim." Yes, I love Mob Hospital, even when I'm not. Even though I don't care about them today, they are not the most important story. No one cares about them. I love them. They're so funny. Because what are you talking about? Yes, we are here to see you, grandson, not talk about this kidnapping your grandfather just committed. But Michael and Wiley go swimming, and Carson go back to talking about mob shenanigans. And Sonny's like, "Look, I had to kidnap Latino's son, but it's fine now because white East African warlord knows what time it is. He knows that I'm not just this man to steal on now." And so Carly's like, cool. Does that mean that my children are safe? The family's safe? Michael's like, I would like to know that too, because he slid out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. Just they were not paying attention to his ass. He was like, I would also like to know that. And so now Michael's in the conversation. So they're talking about it. Sonny is like, I don't want to talk about this, son. What I would like to talk about is how Drew ain't shit because how are you doing, son? Because I know Michael and well, Michael says that Willow and Drew are getting married today. Sonny is so funny. He literally laughs. He's like, "That is so. These two clowns. Like, what the fuck, clown ass wedding." But he's like, "Yeah, let's talk about that because Drew ain't shit." The only thing that makes me mad about the whole situation is that they're fighting. And I mean, I guess it's gonna take time for the town to get the knowledge that we have, but they're finally writing Willow with some type of agency, and you still have like Sunny running around like, oh my god, Willow is a victim. She is a victim of Drew and his like hypnotic penis, and like this is not her fault. Drew took advantage of you, son. He took advantage of your illness, took advantage of your burns, because if you were here, none of that shit would have happened. We don't know that. We have absolutely no idea if that's true. But they're talking about that when Latino's son and Lucas decide to come down from the pool. They see Carson. Now, Latino's son is like, I don't even want to deal with this right now. Let's go back upstairs. Let's go make out upstairs. To be honest, we get some room service. Maybe they should go to the Cosmopolitan, to the off-screen hotel. Cause why are you still living at this woman's hotel, knowing that she mobbed up? Like that she clicking up with the Corinthi. Like, why are you staying at the Corinthi hotel? But whatever. Lucas is like, no, we have every right to be here. No, you don't actually, because this is your sister's hotel. And so she could throw y'all out at any point. Now she won't because she's your sister, but like you acted like this is some public. This is a private business, Lucas. What do you mean? We have every right to be here. No, you don't. You don't actually. But he's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. Latino says like, please don't do that. I really don't want that. He's like, no, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. And so he starts running up on Carson and Michael. Sonny's like, okay, let me deal with this. He tries to step to Sonny. Tries to step to Sonny like Marco could have died. Sonny's like, is he dead? He looks fine. He looks fine. He looks like he just got his back blown out, to be honest. So I don't know why you got this attitude coming in my face. Only person who needs an apology is me. Cause you out here calling the cops for no goddamn reason. You don't know what's going on. You think you was some West Side Story ass thing. Like that's not what it is. We sound like we singing? Do you hear music? Do you hear highly choreographed dance routines taking place? No. So why don't you mind your fucking business? Because if you want to be in mob hospital, I'll put you in mob hospital. And then he bounces. And Lucas looks scared. Lucas looks scared. He tried to step to Sonny, failed. Step two failed. And so, you know, now he's like, well, I can't step to Sonny. Didn't even try to step to Jason yesterday. Because I remember Wednesday when he was like leering at Jason, but he didn't say nothing to Jason. He was just berating Carly. He's like, let me go back to berating Carly. Carly's still talking to Michael because Michael's like, how am I supposed to tell my son that his mama is marrying this whack ass man, his uncle, my uncle, his great uncle? But Michael ends up having to tell him, and Wiley don't like it. Wiley's like, no, I don't want her to marry him. I want her to be married to you. So it's like one more person who hates Drew. We almost have the entire cast hating Drew. We're getting there. Give it a second. Um, but he leaves to go tell Wiley that. So Lucas is like, coast is clear, because he knows that he can't cuss out Carly in front of Michael. Michael will cuss his ass square out. Be like, bruh, you shouldn't have called the cops. Like, Michael will be like, you shouldn't have called the cops. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't even know what was up. Because remember, Michael covered up his daddy killing FBI agent. So Michael not calling the cops unless he absolutely has to call the cops. Unless he's legitimately trying to put Sonny in jail, he not calling the cops. And so Lucas waits until Michael is gone to go berate Carly some more. But Carly not the one. She not trying to hear this right now. She is not trying to hear this right now. Because he's just all like, well, I can't believe that you're defending Sonny. You guys aren't even married anymore. Is this because of Donna? Like, so what you telling me, Lucas? What you're telling me is that you confused that your sister is going to choose the father of her children and her bestie of 3 decades because of Soraz over your situationship with Latino son. You're confused about that? Carly is like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. What the hell are you talking about? Like, and he's like, well, Sonny said that I don't even have a right to be mad because I don't even know what's going on. Carly's like, you don't know what's going on, bruh. You think this is West Side Story, and we're all kind of clowning you for it, including West Latino son, because his ass knows it's a West Side Story. That's why he not as mad as you. He not running up on people. because he knows what time it is. And the fact that you don't, the fact that you think that I'm gonna pick your situationship, I'm gonna pick you getting your back blown out by Latino son over Jason and Sunny, my bestie of 30 fucking years, both of them, unholy trio, just shows how ignorant you truly are. And so I gotta go. And so that is Mob Hospital. Oh no no no! It ends with Sonny going to see Latino's son, being like, "Stay away from me," even though he just kidnapped him. Which is so. Why are you telling him to stay away? You kidnapped him. Like he didn't want to be around you in the first place. But that is Mob Hospital. Let's go to Black Hospital. Black Hospital is very quick because it is still crashing into Delusional Hospital. It is like a wave crashing it. So it rolled back for a second because Willow came was like, I don't give a shit if you being blackmailed and Michael was getting framed. Let that shit rock. Let it rock. And so it came back. So Portia's like, well, Willow crazy as hell. So I guess I gotta quit. Curtis comes in, um, before that, let me do disloyal ass football player real quick. And I'm changing his name to disloyal ex football player instead of unattractive ex biracial ex football player. Now, here's the thing. I had two different interactions on Twitter. One was very nice and respectful, where someone was confused about the phrasing of it, and I understood, like, okay, I get where the confusion was, so I like quote tweeted them to be like, this is the meaning behind it. They were very nice about it. They were like, thank you for explaining it. I'm gonna delete this. I deleted mine. It was beautiful. And then it happened again, and I could just tell the people were just deeply disingenuous and just wanted to start mess because that's how you get a following apparently on Twitter. You start controversy. And so just to like clear things up, he is disloyal biracial ex football player because like the reason I said unattractive is not because of his physicality. He's obviously a very attractive young man. I find betraying all the black people in town to be a extremely unattractive quality, which is why I was calling him that, because he used to be attractive for like biracial football player, but that's not attractive to me. And so I'm gonna say disloyal. It's just a more neutral word that doesn't confuse people, and both genuine and disingenuous people. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But let's do him really quick. So he runs into Trina at the cafe that has a really cute spot that Emma was looking really cute at with the flowers. But Trina did not have time to sit and take an Instagram photo because she was trying to get away from this man. He was like, "Ooh, girl, I still really meant what I said," because he had told her that he loved her when she was busy dumping him, which I think is so rude. It's so rude to do that. Don't do that. She was like, "I'm sure you did. Unfortunately, I cannot be with someone who actively betrays my family. I don't understand why you're confused by that." He's like, because I did the right thing. She's like, why are you wearing a suit? What's going on there? He's like, I'm going to Drew and Willow's wedding. She is essentially tells him, that is why we cannot be together. Goodbye, sir, and leaves. Now let's go to Curtis and Portia. Like I said, Portia is really like, I guess I gotta quit. Willow's crazy. Curtis comes in. He's like, thank you for telling me you slept at the hospital. What are you about to do? She's like, I'm about to quit. Um, why is he back in love with her? He's like back in love with her. Like, I hope Jordan is really over Curtis because he's definitely over her. Because he can sense that Portia don't want him no more. And so now he's like, I love her. I've never loved her like this before. And so she's like, I'm about to quit. Like, I'm gonna quit on my own terms. I'm not gonna be a slave to Drew. I'm over this. He's like, I got one more card to play. He doesn't tell her that he knows that Nina was fucking Drew. And that's what he's going to do. Trina comes in because Portia had already called her to tell her that she's crashing out. Um, Curtis essentially lies to Trina. He's just like, oh, you know what? Me and your mother just want to see how you were doing because we know you broke up with disloyal ex football player. Want to make sure you were okay. He goes to, do shenanigans. Trina knows that that's not why she was called. Portia is like, I can honestly say I have no idea what your father's going to do. I'm just sorry that any of this is coming down on you and that you had to break up with disloyal ass ex football player. to be honest. Trina's like, "Do you think I should get back with him?" I don't know how we got there. But Portia's like, "Nah, I didn't say all that. All I'm saying is players fuck up. Players fuck up. And so you should do what you want to do. Don't worry about us. If you want to get back together with him, you should get back together with him. If you don't, then don't. But like players fuck up. I just want you to know that. Players fuck up. She's like, okay, now let's go to Delusional Hospital. So it's Drew and Willow's wedding day. The day and literally the show's promo was like the wedding that nobody wanted. I was like, what show? Oh my god. At least they understand. At least they know that we hate that shit. And they're just like, yeah, we're leaning into it now. But it's Drew and Willow's wedding day. Everybody's showing up at Drew's house. I'm like, oh, okay. He's just at home in a t-shirt, chilling. Alexis shows up in like a white suit and she's here to pick up Scout, and she's like, "Yeah, Scout's really excited." And Drew is like, "Ooh, Willow's gonna be so good for Scout. This whole family we're making is gonna be so good for Scout." Alexa's like, "We'll see, we'll see." Drew starts talking about like, "Yeah, as soon as I get Willow's kids back, we moving to DC, and the five of us are gonna be a family." Alexa's like, what do you mean you moving to DC? He realizes like, oh no, I may have activated Cassadine hatred. Let me backtrack. So he's like, I would never try to stop you and Scout from having a relationship. You're the closest thing she has to, connection to her mother. I would never do that. Alexis is like, Port Charles and Scout are connected. Like, this is where she was born. This is where she grew up. This is where her family is. This is where her brothers are. Drew is like, well, Rocco's not really her brother. Why are you like this, sir? That what a ain't shit thing to say. Why the fuck would you say that? And where was this energy when Sam was alive? Because he spent more time looking at the Sante family than Jason did. And Jason really could have came in hot, like, I want my fucking son back. But he didn't do that. And now he's bending over backwards. He's moving into the Quartermain mansion. He's, being a brother husband to dead Sam with Dante, raising his sons because they feel that they're brothers. And Drew is just going out of his way to be like, Rocco's not his brother. I think he doesn't even consider Danny to be her brother because of Jason. Like Drew truly ain't shit. That's why this whole thing, like, I don't think giving Willow agency takes away Drew's culpability, and I feel like some people feel like that's what it does, and it doesn't do that. I'm like, it does not do that. Just because she ain't shit, they're just ain't shit people together. It's not like, oh, it turns out he's a less ain't shit person because she's more ain't shit than we thought. Like, it's not how this works. Like, there's an infinite amount of ain't shit behavior happening between Willow and Drew and an infinite container to hold it. So that's happening. But essentially Drew tries to like calm the Cassadine beast that lays within Alexis because he already got Corinthi and Quartermain's coming after him. He does not need Cassadine smoke. But he's dealing with that. Disloyal ass football player comes over to be like, hey, here's your passport. And Trina broke up with me because I teamed up with you. Drew is like, I can't believe she did that. Why would she do that? Because some families are loyal to each other, Drew. Some families don't think it's okay to bang your nephew's wife, Drew. That's why. Like, I understand why you're confused. Why Trina would choose loyalty to her family. But he's just like, oh, well, that's such a sad thing. Now let's go to this church. The church is a hot mess. The church is a hot mess. There's not a single person of God in sight. Everybody fled the building. They said, we don't want nothing to do with this. Like, I don't even know why we're in a church. That's crazy. But we're at the church. Lisa shows up to berate Liz about Britt being dead. Is she dead? Does Lisa know that Britt's dead? It's starting to seem like she thinks that Britt's dead, that she does not know that Britt's alive. But we'll see. Time will tell on that one. But she comes to berate Liz. Like, so, Maxie was out here helping pick flowers and you were out here helping Nicholas get my daughter killed, you raggedy bitch. Liz is like, okay, well, this is somebody's wedding. Lisa's like, bet. I'm fine. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna chill out. Um, they all go to see Willow. Willow's crazy as ever. Willow is as crazy as ever. Nina can see it. Liz and Lisa come in, Scout and Alexis come in, and not Lisa points out that Willow is smiling just like she did when she found out Michael and Sasha's baby were getting kidnapped and they bounced. And Nina comes to the realization that Willow is the one who probably kidnapped that baby and freaks out. So she leaves. They start giving her little gifts, like, oh, it's a little pre-wedding stuff. There's a weird moment between Alexis and Liesel where Liesel's like, we're a part of the Dead Daughter Club. And so then I was like, does Liesel know she's alive? Time will tell on Liesel because I don't know. I have no idea. But eventually it's like Scout, Willow, and Alexis, and Scout gives Willow some gift that even though I just watched, I cannot remember what it was. That's how important it was to me. But she does ask her, like, should I call you mom? And Alexis looks like she will punch Willow in the face, like, don't you fucking dare, bitch. But Willow's like, no, of course not. I'm not gonna take the place of your mom. Like, stepmoms get a bad rap, but we're gonna be a family. It's great. I'm like, Willow. Well, don't tell her that because Scout is about to be in her Emma Scorpio Drake era. She's about to be deep in the Emma Scorpio Drake era. And if you don't understand that reference, go look up post Scrubs GH. When Robin fake blew up and Patrick was a single dad and all that drama, go watch that shit. Go watch those few years of Dead Robin. They put Emma through it. Little baby Emma was crying every day for at least 3 years. Crazy. That's about to be Scout's new reality. She's the new Emma Scorpio Drake. We need a little girl crying on the show, and unfortunately, it is the dream baby that's gonna fill that role. I hate to see it. Um, but Nina is just like I said, she watching Willow be delusional as hell. She got the knowledge that Willow knows that Drew is blackmailing Portia, don't give a fuck. And now she thinks that she may have been kidnapping Michael and Sasha's baby casually. So she just goes into the emptied out house of God where all of the people who are here to help you through emotional crises have fled, and she just starts crying. And Ava comes in mid episode. Like, we have not seen Ava this entire episode. She's like, girl, what's going on? What's going on? I know you don't like Drew. I know you don't want any of this to happen, but it's going to be a long day. You can't be breaking down right now. You got to hold it together. Nina's like, nah. I think that Willow is kidnapped that baby. I think that's where her bitch ass is now. That's who she is now. Ava does try to be like, nah, it's probably Sunny, right? Like it's Sunny shit. Nina is like, what mobster is out here just changing onesies, flipping babies around? Like, be so fucking serious. Ava's like, yeah, you right. That's some like crazy feminine yellow wallpaper madness shit. Um, and so Nina's like, I've had enough. I've had enough. And like, my friend Britt said that she sounds like the Cookie Monster when she gets mad. And now I can't hear it. But she made her little Cookie Monster growl and then went to go tell Willow finally that she was fucking Drew. Unfortunately, unfortunately for Nina, her, her sudden like pang of conscience, her sudden bravery is a little too late because Black Hospital is doing shenanigans. Like I said, it's a wave. It rolled back when Willow says she don't give a fuck about Portia being blackmailed, but it's gonna hit Delusional Hospital like a ton of bricks right now because Curtis shows up in the most casual fucking way possible. Like he was just telling her that her dry cleaning was gonna be late. Like, hey girl, just so you know, because Willow's like, I don't want to hear about Portia being blackmailed. Like, you bitch. I don't even feel bad about what I'm doing. In the most casual way possible, Curtis is just like, hey girl, just so you know, your mom was fucking Drew the entire time you were falling in love with him. Have a great wedding day. And that's how Thursday's episode ended. Gagged. Gagged. So now I'm about to watch Friday's episode. I am very excited. I will be back in a second. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Friday's episode. So much happened and yet nothing happened. And yet I'm very excited for Monday. Let's start with Christina's hospital. Christina's back with her whack plan that just keeps getting more whack. Like she's such a terrible sister. Like her whole plan is to like save her sister, but really to save her mom, but really to save herself. Like just turn yourself in, Queen. Turn yourself in. Turn Rick in. Turn Ava in, turn Alexis in, all y'all can go to jail. All y'all can go to jail, to be honest. But let's talk about Christina's hospital. So Christina runs into Cody and she's like, where is Ava? He's like, Ava is at the Drillo wedding. She's like, shit. She's probably there with Rick. He's like, I don't know, cause I really put a wrench in their fucking plans at the gallery at the repeat episode gallery opening. They don't like each other anymore. Christina's like, bet. He's like, yeah, she gonna be in my bed soon enough. Like, Cody, why are you such a hoe? This whole behavior. But he's like, I'm gonna take the day off. He sees Molly. Molly is literally dressed like I, like a fucking Amish person. She's so covered up. She's like a nun. Oh, before Cody had walked away, Michael had run up, and Christina was in the middle of her crusty plan, and so she had to quickly like switch gears. And so Michael's with Christina, but Cody's over with Molly. And he's like, "Hey, girl, why are you so covered up? Like, you are from head to toe covered up at the pool. What's going on?" She's like, well, sun cancer, skin cancer, the sun's bad for you. You gotta be covered up. He's like, girl, I know you are boiling in all them clothes because I'm literally standing 3 feet off of you and I'm on fire. So she takes off her top. Turns out she got a bikini underneath. He was not ready. He was not prepared. He was like, oh, hey, girl. Turns out she's reading War and Peace. That seems like a spoiler for literature fans for Mob Hospital. I'm just gonna leave it there. If you would like me to tell you why I think it's a spoiler, I will. Just let me know in the comments. But also you can just look up the plot of War and Peace. All I will say is that Sunny is the Russians and White East African Warlord is France. Sunny is Alexander and White East African Warlord is Napoleon. Do with that information what you will. But she's reading that. She's, like I said, lecturing him about skin cancer. And he's like, well, let put some suntan lotion on me then. Like, let's stay safe. They're doing that. Over across the pool, like I said, Michael had come to see Christina. He had actually texted her. And so she's like, why you want to see me, big bro? What's going on? He's like, look, Willow's crusty ass getting married and I feel some type of way about it. I need to talk to somebody about it. She's like, bet, you know what? Willow ain't shit. And she gonna regret this shit because Drew ain't shit. And she's a dummy. And before she can even continue to help comfort her brother, she peeps Molly putting suntan lotion on Cody. She's like, no, absolutely not. I am not paying this man to fuck my sister. I am paying him to fuck Ava. And so, without telling him a goddamn thing, without telling him nothing, she's like, Michael, I get that you are hurt and dealing with your broken heart and your broken marriage. Fuck all that. What I need you to do is I need you to go over there and get Cody and go talk to him about some shit. I don't care what kind of shit you talk to him about. Just go talk to him about shit. He's like, why? She's like, just do it. He's like, okay. So he goes talk to Cody. We don't even hear what they talk about. He just take Cody and leave. Christina goes over there and she's like, why are you trying to date this bum ass Cody? Like, didn't you just tell Molly that Cody is a better guy than you thought when you were trying to hide your stupid Ava plan before with Molly? Now she's like, why are you trying to date this bum ass Cody? He's a manhole. He be selling his ass to women trying to con him for money. He's probably trying to be with you. Like he was out here shaking his ass for Ava. Now he's shaking his ass for you because you a Cassadine. He trying to get that Cassadine money. Molly's like, what Cassadine money? What are you talking about? Like, The baby has all the money. I don't have no money. I'm a civil servant. Honey, I work for the state. Like, I work for the city. I don't even work for the state, so I make less money. I don't know what you're talking about. If he's here for money, he's in the wrong spot. Um, Christina's like, well, look at him asking you to put suntan lotion on him. That's what every cat does. He's terrible. He is trash. Molly's like, well, I was the one talking about skin cancer and shit, which is why all that got started. Christina's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm just looking out for you, girl. I just want you, my sister. I want to keep you safe. All right, and you deserve better than Cody, than the man who worked for the horses. And so she leaves. Michael goes up to Christina like, bitch, what the hell did we just do? What, I'm down for shenanigans, but you actually got to tell me what the shenanigans are. And so on Monday, Christina's gonna have to tell Michael what the shenanigans are there. So does she tell him that he? I think I saw in the preview that she might actually tell him that she tried to kill Rick and Ava. I'm not actually mad at her for that because Michael not gonna be mad about that. Michael is not gonna be upset that Christina tried to kill Rick or Ava and almost killed Elizabeth. Like he's gonna be like, you shouldn't have hurt Elizabeth because she don't have beef with our family, but I don't fuck with Rick or Ava, so he's not gonna be mad about that. He's gonna be like, girl, why you so dumb? And so I'm not even worried about that. But that's pretty much Christina's hospital. The only thing else that happens is that when Cody comes back from talking to Michael, Christina did kind of get to Molly, and so when he asked her to put more suntan lotion on his back, it seemed like she about to cuss his ass out. And so, ooh, that's gonna be embarrassing. Like Christina's such a terrible sister. Like that's all we learned from Christina's hospital is that Christina is the worst sister to multiple siblings, not just one. Like to Michael, because she don't give a fuck about his trauma. Like fuck your trauma. We need to do shenanigans. I'm not going to tell you about the shenanigans. Just your trauma is not more important than my personal shenanigans. And then ruining whatever romantic prospects her sister has in her divorced post divorce life. Both of her siblings are divorced, and she don't give a fuck because she out here committing attempted murder. That's Christina's hospital. Let's move on from it. Moving on. Let's go to Mob Hospital. It's not the, least important story like it was on Thursday, but I mean, still, it's more yelling. It's just people fighting and yelling. The first thing we get is like, White East African Warlord is so funny because he really wants to be like, I'm the most reasonable person in town when he is just Anthony Zakara all over again. Like, I'm waiting for him to just go full Anthony Zakara. And now that he's not playing around, like, has to pretend with Drew and the council person, now he can go full Anthony Zakara. Let's get into it. So Lucy comes and she's like, do you want to go to Drew and Willow's wedding? It's going to be quite the affair. There's literally 8 people at this wedding. 9 if we count Elizabeth, I guess. But like, this is not the affair of the town, like of the century. Calm down, Lucy. White East African Warlord is like, no, I don't want to go to that wedding. I am fully mobbed down, and so I will not be going to the wedding of Congress people because I'm a mobster now. Lucy's like, okay, well, I have to go. I'm gonna officiate it. Tells him that he tried to like, or she tried to get the paper, the stuff in the paper taken out, couldn't do it. He's like, oh, well, shrug. I'm about peace. I'm about peace and love now. Remember that. Clock that. Clock that. We will come back to it. So, like I said in Thursday's episode, Lucas only want to fight Carly because he's afraid of Sonny and Jason. And so Carly takes him to her office because she's like, I don't know if you know this, but I work here. This is my hotel. I own it. So I'm not actually going to be fighting with you in the middle of it. So whatever you got to say it here. He's really like, we don't know. Sonny, I tried to make excuses for him. I tried to do all this. But like, what if he killed Julian? Really, Lucas? Really? Now punk ass Julian is a fucking victim when he literally blew up the floating rib, put Lulu in a coma, killed a bunch of people. Are you serious? Okay. All for some ass, Lucas? All for your situation ship that's about to make you look like a fucking idiot, Lucas? But Carly's like, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to like turn everything around and make yourself a victim of Sonny's mobbing, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, you don't give a fuck about the fact that his daddy just blew up Charlie's. He don't give a fuck about the fact that his daddy just blew up Charlie's, almost killed Christina, but now you expect me to give a fuck that Sonny kidnapped his son because you fucking him? I don't. So I guess we're gonna have to disagree to disagree on that one. He's like, fine, leaves. Freaking Sonny is still with Latino's son, telling him to leave him alone, even though he literally just kidnapped that man, which is hilarious. Um, Sonny is like, you should just leave town. Like, run your dad's legitimate business from Miami. Why you gotta do it here? Latino's son is like, I know that I have only been here for about 2.5 months, but I have built a life here. And now this is my town. He is really acting like he's been in this town for 30 years. This is the problem with the like mobsters who come in and their children is they really act like it's so out of pocket for them to leave. Like, why should we be the ones to leave? Because you're fucking criminals and we were here first with our criminal enterprise, you dumb bitch. But whatever. He's like, I don't want to leave. I have a life here. My situationship with Lucas is more important than my life. And so, West Side Story, I guess. Anyway, Sonny's like, okay, well, a lot of people think that I killed your homophobic mama. How do you feel about that? And he says that he doesn't, but I didn't believe that shit at all. Like, I was looking at him say it, and I'm like, I don't believe you, sir. But it seemed like Sonny did, and I'm so disappointed by that. I am so, so disappointed by that. Sonny, no, don't do that. But, Lucas comes back from yelling at Carly, sees Sonny, and threatens to snitch some more. Sonny's like, bruh, you do what you gotta do, alright? You do whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna bounce. Um, and Lucas is like, I can't believe he's coming to threaten you. Whatever he said, it was a threat. And we should go to the cops. We should add that to the amendment. Latino's son is like, I didn't make no statement. I didn't make no statement to the cops. We're not going to no cops. Like, what you talking about? I just want to move on. I want to move on and do what's best for everybody, what's best for poor Charles. And Lucas doesn't think that that's fucking weird. He doesn't think that that's called being digmatized. That's what happens when you digmatized. Lucas is digmatized so he can't see the forest from the trees at this point. And so Latino's son is like, I'm just trying to move on. You know what? I'm very tired. I'm so, so tired. How about you leave so I can definitely go to sleep and not leave this hotel room at all today? Lucas is like, I trust you more than anyone. He's Lucas is the new Willow. Lucas is, I'm gonna name this episode Lucas is the new Willow. Lucas the new Willow. Just be a dickmatized like this. And so he leaves. Sonny goes to see Carly after leaving Latino's son to be like, can you get your brother in line? Cause I'm actually tired of it. I'm about to start slapping his ass around. But also I'm not sure if that is a hate crime. So I don't want to slap him around. I'm trying my best to not have to slap his ass around. Because I love him. I respect him. I still consider him family. But he's stigmatized and is getting quite annoying. He keeps threatening to take me to the cops. Carly is like, I'm sorry that that keeps happening. But he's stigmatized, like you said. What you want me to do? Sonny is like, how are you feeling? You going to the cops? Are you loyal? Has the stigmatization reached you yet? She's like, why are you saying that to me? What, bruh? Why would you even say that to me? That's so disrespectful. I'm literally in a fight with this man, with my brother, who I love, for you. So don't ask me that. He's like, well, don't get mad at me, because, like, listen, if I have to white fang everybody in my goddamn life to keep them safe from white East African warlord, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'll white fang all of y'all. Get. Go on now, get. Carly's like, I do not need to be white fanged. Me and Lucas, it's just a little family squabble. It's a sibling thing, and we're gonna get past it. Right when she says it, here comes Lucas. Here, you can take this key, because I'm not living with you no more. You clicking up. You clicking up with Sonny, so I'm out. And like mean mugging Sonny. At the exact same time, Latino's son is going to his daddy, being like, we clicking up. They clicking up, we clicking up. Mobbing down. So essentially, Lucas chose a different mob family. He thinks that he's choosing the innocent people, but he's actually dating a fucking mobster, the new Willow, because Willow's free. Willow's free. Let's go over to Delusional Hospital, which is about to become Mob Hospital. Delusional Hospital is about to become Lucas's own personal hospital because not Lulu, Willow is free of it. She's free of it. Let's talk about it. So before we get into it, let's talk about Liesel. Liesel confronts Drew about him being a shit. Cause he's like, oh my god, Liesel, I'm so glad to see you. She's pretty much like, what makes one of us? Makes one of us, because I'm not glad to see you, like, be anywhere but here. Like, the fuck? Liz tries to stop it, like, girl, calm down. She's like, nah, you told me there'd be alcohol. It was a very funny scene, because she pretty much like, Liz, you a lying ass bitch, like, y'all both ain't shit. Um, Ava is just watching Rick openly flirt with Liz, very disrespectful. And her and Liesel end up having a good moment where they're like men ain't shit. So like Liesel and Ava are on some men ain't shit. While Liz just runs around playing Maxie in this episode, trying to make shit perfect for no reason. But the whole episode belongs to Willow and Nina. So like I said, Curtis swooped in all casual, like, hey girl, just to let you know, your mom's been fucking Drew. Don't mess with Black Hospital. That's what we learned. Don't come for Black Hospital because Black Hospital is unpredictable. Black Hospital ruin your whole day. And so we don't even see Curtis. He gone. Nina knocked on the door. And remember, she was coming to tell Willow about her and Drew. Too late. Willow was like, did you fuck Drew? Nina's like, wah, 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 what? Girl, don't play dumb. And Willow's not hearing it. She's not here for that either. Willow's on a different type of time. Willow don't woke up. All right, the delusion has snapped. Like delusion broken, and so she's like, "Bitch, I didn't stutter. Did you fuck that man? Yes or no?" Nina's like, "Yes." Willow starts freaking out because she thinks that they've been sleeping with each other this entire time. Nina's like, "No, we were sleeping together between April and August of 2024." And so Willow was like, so essentially, when I was like falling for that man, like I told you that I kissed him. You could at any point told me that you were fucking him, but you didn't. Like I threw away my whole marriage, my whole family, and you didn't say nothing. Nina is pretty much like, listen, I could not tell you because then you would not still be talking to me. You wouldn't talk to me anymore. So I didn't tell you. A fucking Willow is like, bruh, so because I wasn't gonna talk to you, that's why you just let me ruin my life? What the fuck? Here's the thing. I don't even know why she mad. Why is she mad? Why is she mad that like Drew and Nina stopped fucking each other before they even got together? Because they didn't get together until November of 2024. So why are you even mad that your mom was fucking him between April and August when you were married to a different fucking person? This doesn't make any sense. But who cares? Who cares? Yell at her some more, Willow. Um, she's really like, you ain't shit. You truly ain't shit. You an ain't shit mother. Why did you keep fucking Drew after I told you that I kissed him and I had feelings with him? Nina's like, I was trying to like lure him away. I thought that if he was like into me, then he wouldn't be into you, and then you could just be married because you were married, because you were the married one in this situation. Remember you? Um, Willow is like, girl, fuck you. Fuck you. What are you talking about? She also doesn't tell her that another reason she was fucking Drew was to get him to have Willow talk to her. Like to have Drew manipulate Willow into talking to Nina. That doesn't come out. I don't think it's ever going to come out. Because it's extra gross and it makes Nina and Drew look extra gross, so it's never going to come out. But she essentially tells her, like, I was trying to lure him away to save your marriage. Once again, who cares? Why are you mad like this? Why are you mad? You were married. You were the married one. So what the fuck is the problem? But who cares also? Yell at her some more. Yell at her some more, Willow. Um, Willow is like, if I had known this specific information, I would have left Drew. I don't understand why that specific. It is gross to know that you, are double dipping with your old mama, I'm gonna give that to you. And it's also gross to learn that your fiance is blackmailing doctors, blackmailing your boss. How is Willow not fired? By the way, because you tell me that you okay with your fiance blackmailing me, I'm firing your ass. That's one of the last things I'm doing before I quit. Firing you and then quitting. Um, but somehow Nina and Drew being together before they were even together is the last fucking straw. And it's personally the reason that Willow lost her kids. Now listen, all that shit's bullshit because that's none of this is Nina's fault, to be honest. Like, she should have told her, but all of the choices that were made by Willow. And just because you didn't have very specific, limited information, it does not negate all the fucked up choices that you made. But Willow does not see this anyway because she is not delusional anymore. She's now unhinged. We are now working not with delusional Willow. We're dealing with Dark Willow. Rise, bitch. Dark Willow. Um, like I said, Lucas is the new delusional Willow. This is Dark Willow. And so Willow is like, you're the reason I lost my kids. I lost my kids because of you. Nina is like, look, I'm real sorry about that, but like I told you, you weren't gonna talk to me, and so there was nothing I could do. Um, Willow, for her part, does acknowledge that she has effectively burned every fucking bridge in Port Charles. There is no one she can turn to. She can turn to Elizabeth, like she's planning her wedding. But like the people that she actually likes, the Quartermains, the Corinthi, the rich lifestyle that she's used to, they're all gone because she cussed them out like a dog. And now all she has is Drew. Nina's like, you got me too. And Willow's like, bitch, get out of here. Went back to calling her Nina, no longer calling her mom. She was like, I needed you like 6 months ago. I don't need your ass now. And then essentially tell Nina that Nell is lucky that she ran off a cliff before she found out that Nina was her mom. Gagged. Gagged. Ooh, me and Nina were gagged. Okay, Dark Willow, let her know. And so she kicks Nina out, and then she starts thinking about her whole relationship with Drew. Like, we get a bunch of flashbacks, of course, and it ends with her remembering that Martin said that the judge favors married couples, and her saying that the only thing that matters is her children. And so I think she might go through with this wedding. I really think that she's gonna marry him. She might. There's a spoiler. I did see the spoilers. I'm not gonna read them out, but I did see the spoilers where it says that someone's gonna be staying with Liz. But there's two homeless people. There's Delulu Willow, being played by Lucas Jones, and there's Dark Willow potentially. And we know that Lucas is homeless, so I think it's Lucas moving in with Liz because I don't know why he can't get his own apartment. He's a surgeon, but whatever. I think that Willow about to marry him because essentially Nina comes to the chapel and Lucy's like, it's time to start. Nina's trying to get the fuck out of there. She's like, Lisa, we gotta go. Like, let's go get a drink. Lisa's like, what are you talking about? The wedding's about to start. We not gonna go. She's like, bitch, we got to go. There ain't gonna be no motherfucking wedding. And then Liz is like, she's coming. Oh my god, Liz was so excited. She gonna be more heartbroken than Scout. But it does end with Willow at the end of that aisle. And so I don't know what's about to happen. She looks crazed at the end of that aisle. And so I am down for Dark Willow. Dark Willow Rise. I'm here for it. I am here for it. But that's pretty much all that happened this week. Like I said, this was an interesting week. I am gonna name it Lucas is the New Willow Chaos episode. But thank you for rocking with me. It's slightly shorter than the last time. I'm just a little under 2 hours. So if you make it through this, thank you so much. If you like this, feel free to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next week, bye.